was so close and then I accidentally swiped because Facebook is an idiot. Like that. See how you do this and it goes back?
Oh, yeah.
Don't start that crap with me. Okay. I'm just gonna pull up the pictures to recall who all we met.
Swipe or no swipe?
Yeah. I'm not even trying to swipe. Okay. I mean, what? We're happy and cheerful and well-balanced people.
Welcome to our McWorld.
I'm Courtney.
Mallory.
Today, we're going to talk about Once Upon a Time.
Once upon a time, back in 2018, I think. 2018?
Let's see.
It was
17.
2017. The same as the one.
What?
It's fitting.
It is fitting.
We went to Storybrooke.
Yes, we did. My shirt is Sheriff's Department, Storybrooke, Maine.
My shirt is Captain Swan.
Do you think I can hear that fan?
I don't know. Can you hear that fan?
Can you hear the fan? Tell us in the comments. Okay, anyway. So today we're going to be talking about all things Once Upon a Time. We're going to talk about the show and just some general favorite characters, moments, whatever. And we're also going to talk about when we went to Storybrooke and to the Once Upon a Time convention.
Yes. That was probably the trip we have taken where the most things went wrong ever. That
Yes.
all somehow worked out.
Yes.
But almost everything went wrong.
Yeah, 100%. But also, we are going to be drinking this Jennifer Goodwine. Jennifer Goodwin was the tastemaker on this wine. Again, this is a knocking point with Jennifer Goodwin. And apparently it's from 2017. So we have a room temperature bottle and a cool bottle. We're gonna try them both and see which one we like. Probably the cool bottle.
I was gonna say, it's always the cool one, but we're gonna try it every time, and that's what.
Yeah. So, what should we call this segment?
I don't know. Talking about, this is gonna be, we figure, a new segment where we talk about, like, we pick a show that we love and talk all about it.
And drink wine.
And drink wine.
That may or may not relate.
We'll think of something clever. Oh no.
The cork broke! Well, this is fitting. Honestly, we're talking about this trip for sure. But,
Yeah, I guess you want to start on talking about the trip?
yeah, we'll start talking about the trip while I'm trying to figure out how to get this cork out of the wine.
Yeah.
Oh wait, we still don't have a name though.
I don't know.
TV and tannins. There are tannins in wine.
Oh.
I'm not sure if this is gonna work.
Not real sure.
Okay, so we don't know what the segment's called, but
We'll figure it out before we post the video.
maybe.
So when we went, the first thing that happened that we realized had happened, I don't know what we were thinking, but we were on our way to the airport because in case you don't know, the town of Storybrooke is actually a town called Steveston in Vancouver, Canada. So we were on our way to the airport, and Courtney's dad was taking us because he usually takes us to the airport when we go somewhere. And we were like, which terminal should we go to? Because we're going to Canada, so like we should go to the international terminal, right?
No, we shouldn't, because we had a layover in Dallas. So it turns out if you don't have a direct flight to wherever you're going internationally, or you're not going directly internationally somewhere, you're supposed to be at the domestic terminal.
Don't go to the international terminal. And see, what really bit us in the butt was, because we were only going for the weekend. So Hillary went with us. So Courtney and Hillary both had carry-on luggage, but I had a full-size luggage. And really, if we'd all had carry-on, we wouldn't have that big of a problem. Because we were flying American Airlines, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And what we didn't know at the time, but now know, American Airlines does not have a desk in the international terminal, or they didn't then. So what happened when we got there was we realized we were in the wrong place. But we couldn't check the big bag because there was no desk for American Airlines, because the security was like, well, you could go ahead and go through here and get to your flight, but you have this bag. And my bag was too big to be a carry-on.
And see, so of course we fly out of Atlanta Hartsfield Jackson Airport, and it's the busiest airport in the world, basically. Mm-hmm. So, or one of them. It comes and goes, but when the domestic terminals and the international terminals are not very close together, I mean, obviously it somehow works out. But you take different exits off the highway, you know, like the little tram thing that runs in between, what are they called? The little like A-B concourses.
Yeah.
That it don't go to international, okay? So, and this was super early in the morning. So we had to get on a little bus thing and like go to the domestic terminal once we figured it out. And we made it just in time, like the plane was boarding, I think, when we got to the thing.
So we didn't have time to grab, I don't think we had time to grab food until we got to Texas. But when we got to Texas, didn't our flight get delayed or something once we were on it?
Maybe.
Anyway, when we got to Texas, we had to rush and catch our other flight. So we barely had time, I think, to like grab something to eat and hop on the next flight. Which we did make it on all the flights. We didn't miss a flight, but we came really close. But then we get to Vancouver. So the first thing that happened was we decided we were going to the convention on Sunday, I think, or Saturday. I can't remember what day we got. The day after we got into town. So we decided we were going to go to Storybrooke, to the actual place where they filmed the exterior that day. So we go off looking for, and see, this is why I am an organized mess, okay? Because I feel like I had planned out this whole thing and then everything went wrong. But so we went to, I thought that we could go and get on their train. It was called
I don't remember. It's like a Canadian rail thing.
Yeah.
In Vancouver. Okay, so this is really good wine, by the way.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's like Marta in Atlanta, but
in Canada.
It's in Canada.
In Vancouver specifically, as if Canada's all one big place.
I can't remember what it's called. But anyway, so I thought that we could ride the train all the way to the last stop, and then we would be
there.
Basically there. That is not what happened.
No, not at all. So first of all, like when you get on MARTA, because this was not that complicated of a rail system compared to ones we've dealt with in the past, like the London Tube, for instance, which goes, okay, so MARTA, which is the one we are used to dealing with, basically goes like this.
Yeah.
So there's a couple forks here and there. It's super easy to figure out, right? Well, apparently not for a lot of people around here because they still refuse to take it, whatever. Anyway, it's not complicated. And also, basically, you buy a ticket, you get on the train, and you go where you're going, and you get off, and that's it.
Yep.
But this thing was in zones. And that really, honestly, that's how the London Tube worked too.
Yeah.
You scanned your card, you got on the tube, and you could change as many times as you needed to, but you didn't have to scan your card or anything else until you got off. But this thing was like, it had 3 zones, and you had to pay so much, and it was like timed. It was,
Yeah.
I don't even know what.
And no one was working in the station.
No.
At any station we got to, there was no people working. So we decided to buy the ticket that was like I think it was like a 2 trip.
Sky Train. That's what
Yeah.
it was called, right?
Yes.
Yes.
I think so. So I think we bought like the two trip ticket
Yeah.
because we thought, well, we're not gonna need a day pass because we're only going down and back.
Yeah.
What we didn't realize was that the tickets expire after like an hour
Yeah.
if you just get those tickets. So we got back to the station, we had to buy another ticket anyway, which ended up
Yeah.
costing us more money than the day pass.
Plus, when we got to the end of the line and stepped off the train, guess what? We were not in Storybrooke.
No.
We still had to go. We had to like
We
get
got
on a bus. I mean,
And so then we were sitting there in the station, like trying to look on our phones and figure out what bus to get on. It was raining and nobody else, like there was no one to ask for help. I was like, this is a disaster.
finally a bus came by, I think, and I just got on it and was like, hey man, we need help. And like, you're the only person we've seen. So, I mean, in hindsight, I don't know. I do probably know why we didn't. I don't know if we looked to see if there was Uber or Lyft, but we probably hadn't really taken Uber or
No.
Lyft at that point.
I
So,
think we had.
I don't know, but yeah, so that was a mess.
Yeah,
But we finally made it, and the
Yeah.
town was awesome.
put some pictures up here.
Yes. And that little town is kind of set up. They expect people to come there who are looking for Storybrooke.
Yeah.
So they have a little visitor center, and when we went, they gave us like a free map that said this building is Mr. Gold's shop or whatever, because they weren't filming when we went, and they cover the signs up.
Yeah, with the normal, what it actually
Right.
is when they're not filming. So you could see if you went to the diner, like in between, like where the actual diner sign was the sign that said Granny's.
Yeah.
So you could tell that they pulled it out probably when they were filming.
Yeah.
But they did have it painted "Welcome to Storybrooke" on the wall though.
Yeah. So
So
that
that
was cool. And then we were able to, they actually CGI the clock tower.
Yeah, there's actually not a clock there.
No. But if you look, you can figure out the building.
Yeah, once we got there and got oriented like the right way, we figured out where we were in town, like where
Yeah.
the clock tower was. Since there, wasn't a clock, we had
Yeah.
to like pick, and then it was, you could tell.
And the rain pretty much slacked off, so we were able to walk around and get some good pictures with whatever we wanted to. And we got some hot chocolates, because they had Storybrooke themed hot chocolates
Yeah.
at this little shop in town too. And then we saw, just some other things, and then we kind of toured the rest of Vancouver when we
Yeah.
came back.
Just walked around. So the next day we went to the convention. Well, we figured out the night before the convention that, again, somehow, because now Hillary and I sat down together and bought these tickets for everything. We bought our entry tickets, our photo op tickets, everything at the same time. Somehow we had tickets to the convention in New Jersey.
Yeah.
And all of our photo ops were for Vancouver except the Lana Paria photo op. And it was also for somewhere else.
Yeah, but I don't think it was New Jersey.
No, it
I
was.
think it was a different one, all the same.
Yeah. So I'm still not sure how we ended up with that, but we were like, holy crap, now we're all the way up here and we don't even have tickets for this convention.
Yeah. Yeah. I get extremely frustrated sometimes easily. It's not my best trait. It's also my worst trait. But, so I was like, are you serious? I was like, but then we all kind of calmed down. We were like, it'll work out. It has to work out. But surely they will work with us. I mean, obviously, we wouldn't have come here for no freaking reason, So when we got to the convention, we went to the people and we were like, listen, we swear to goodness we're not also going to try to go to Whippany, New Jersey, wherever that is, and use these convention tickets. Right. So they were like, it's no problem at all, we'll get you in. And then the only issue they said we might have is that they thought there may be too many Lana tickets already sold to where we couldn't convert those, but they worked that out too. So
yeah.
So we ended up, everything worked out.
Yep.
It was like a fairy tale.
Eventually it all worked out and we got to meet. So we met Lana Parrilla for one, and we met Jennifer Morrison.
Yeah, we met Colin O'Donoghue and Emily DeRobin.
Yep.
Which are Regina, Emma, Hook, and Bale, respectively.
Yeah, I think there were a few other people at the convention, but some of them we had already met in Atlanta at Dragon Con, so we didn't get them. So we were just... Which I think we found out, that the three of them, or the four of them were going to be there, and we hadn't met any of them. And we thought, oh, this will be cool because we can meet them and go, because of course we wanted to go to the Vancouver convention so we could go to Storybrooke.
Yeah.
And we'd never been to Canada, so we thought we'd tour Vancouver a little bit too.
And really at the time, too, there really, I don't think was that much sign of Once Upon a Time stopping. Now, shortly after this, it did, but
yeah.
But I don't think, maybe it was I don't know if it was their last season, and I don't think they knew they'd been renewed yet.
Yeah.
So maybe we thought, either way, mostly we didn't think that Colin O'Donoghue and Jennifer Morrison were probably ever going to come to Dragon Con too.
Yeah.
So that was another reason why we wanted to go, but actually she did later come to Dragon Con.
Yeah.
But like Rebecca Mader was there too, and Lee Ehrenberg and Beverly Elliott and several of the other ones were there too. So we got to see their panels because it was a pretty small con.
Yeah.
We learned how much people are obsessed with Regina / Lana.
Oh yeah.
But major fans. She has major fans.
She does. Out of all the characters and actors on the show, hers seemed the most passionate out of all the other once fans that we've met.
Yeah. I mean, so I guess if we want to move into talking about the show now.
Yeah. So I found this list of the best moments that they think of Once Upon a Time.
Okay.
So I thought, well, we can read these and then we'll add in our own if they're not on the list.
Okay.
Okay. We've got when Emma first breaks the curse in season 1 in the finale, where she kisses Henry and it's true love's kiss and it breaks the curse on everybody and they all remember who they are.
Yeah.
I think that is a really good moment. Season 1 is probably the one I haven't seen in the longest. I rewatched Once Upon a Time recently, but I didn't start from the beginning. I started from season 3 and watched through season 5 or 6. Tell me where they're all together. 6 or 7. I can't remember. Anyway, and then I went back and started watching a few others, but overall though, I think that was that moment of her, because of course the whole first season, nobody really knew, and Emma didn't really believe in most of it, that everybody was fairy tale.
Yeah.
So it was really cool to see it finally happen and everybody finally remembers who they are. That's sort of an ongoing theme in Once Upon a Time is people are cursed and don't remember something.
Yeah.
It happened a bunch.
And honestly, I mean, not to like deviate immediately from the list, but that was my favorite parts of Once Upon a Time. Like, I feel like I liked Once Upon a Time all the way through. The last season, of course, was a bit disappointing, but I really liked it when nobody knew and it was all kind of like, how will they figure out who they are? And then you're trying to kind of play along at home almost to say, oh, I wonder who this character is going to turn out to be. Or,
Yeah, and then they reveal,
yeah.
oh, they're so-and-so.
Because after a while, once they got, I mean, I'm more of a monster of the week type person anyway, which obviously that's not sustainable with Once Upon a Time because, you know, you can't just every week reveal a new character. That's Sideways Stories from Wayside School. So, you know, but I like it better when, you know, it's something new all the time instead of like ongoing battles that drag out forever.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway.
Yeah, that was pretty much most of season 1. Like every episode, you kind of
Met new people.
met a new person.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was a. So I did like season 1. I remember. I need to rewatch it. It's going off of Netflix in like 5 minutes,
So
sometime in
we're
the next
SOL.
couple weeks. I hope it comes on to like Disney Plus or something.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping to.
Because I need to watch the first season again because it's been a while.
I've never rewatched it at
Since I
all,
watched
so
I don't know why I decided to start with season 3. Probably because, well, we'll get into that in a minute. We'll see if it's on the list. Okay. When Regina gives Emma and Henry new memories. So that was at the mid-season finale of season 3. Where they were casting, like the new curse was being cast or whatever, or let me think of how it went. I just watched this. Because you know they went to Neverland in season 3 and Pan ended up sneaking back. And then Pan was trying to like destroy things, people.
stuff and things.
Yeah. So anyway, they destroyed Pan, or Rumple sacrificed himself, I think, to destroy Pan. So but he had started up some kind of big curse thing like everybody does. So Regina thought, well, she could fix it by like taking everybody back to making it like her original curse had never happened. So like everybody would go back to where they were, except for not Henry because he was born in the real world.
Right.
So but Emma, she could escape the curse since she was the savior or whatever.
Yeah.
So her and Henry went off, and Regina erased their memories or gave them like new memories, like they'd spent their whole lives together, and they lived in New York. And
Sure, that was good.
no, I did really like that. I mean, it was really sad because of course they had to say goodbye to everybody. And Regina had to say goodbye to Henry, and Emma to her parents, and Hook and Neil, and
yeah.
But then Hook showed up in New York.
Hook.
I love Hook. Snow Charming and Emma's reunion. So that's whenever they first broke the curse and first reunited with Emma.
Yeah. That was good. It's all good. Just kidding.
When Bale banishes Rumple from Storybrooke.
Get out. To the left, to the left.
Yeah, that was a really good moment for Bale.
Yeah.
I think, to finally, she'd had just enough of him, and he was, that's when he was trying to cast the curse with the sorcerer's hat thing.
Oh, yeah.
And he was going to, like, take all magic for himself or something.
Of course he was.
And he was going to kill Hook to do it. But then Bale showed up with his dagger and commanded him to step over the town line so he could never come back.
Booyah.
That was a really good moment.
Dagger drop.
It was good. It was a good power moment for Bale, and also it was giving him what he deserved because he kept scumming people.
The whole freaking time.
That was one frustrating thing about Rumple is he kept betraying everyone every time.
Yeah, and to a certain extent, it kind of got old I mean, it was kind of like, oh, so Rumple betrayed him again.
Yeah.
And I'm shocked.
It's like when Hook sacrificed himself, to destroy the darkness, and then Rumple had the darkness channeled back into him instead of destroying it.
Yeah. Rumple, what the hell's wrong with you, bruh? Rumple, terrible. But yeah, I'm all about Bale getting that power moment though.
Yeah. I feel like Rumple's one of those characters too, where even though every time you just like want to wring his neck, at the end of the day, you still always want him to be good.
Yeah,
I always want him to like get the happy ending.
Even though it was annoying,
it.
That's what still worked about it. I mean, it was kind of frustrating to have it be the same old deal all the time, but then every time you were like, he's better this time. No, he's not. Dang it. See, it was only frustrating after you were also fooled again.
Yeah.
And then you're like, why do they keep doing this? Even though you obviously have fallen for the trap anyway.
We'll get fooled again.
Yeah.
When Cora kills Daniel in front of Regina. I think these are all heartbreaking moments.
Right? What the heck is this list? This is the saddest thing ever. Cora was the worst.
The worst.
For real. The worst. She was worse than Rumple for sure, because she didn't give a snot about anybody.
Mm-hmm. At least not till she died. They were able to help her in the underworld. Move on, but
Meh.
she was always terrible.
Yeah.
She was always kind of out to... I mean, when she first came to Storybrooke, she was trying to, like, ruin Regina's life and turn her evil, I think.
Girl, Regina has recovered from being evil.
Mm.
Get out.
But I guess that moment was an important moment because it was sort of the turning point for Regina. Or it's like where Regina started off on her evil queen path when she lost Daniel.
So are these important moments or good moments? What's the name of the article?
The name of it, when I clicked on it, it said something about the best episodes. Oh, no. Okay, this says, Once Upon a Time Moments That Made You Feel All the Feels.
Okay, well, so that's why we're in a quagmire of sadness.
Important, sad moments.
Or could be happy.
Good moments.
Okay, carry on.
When Bellfire forgives Rumple. That was like a sad... that's when he was, I think when he was dying or whatever, and Neil was like, I forgive you for everything. Because all he ever wanted was to find his son, that's why he did all this nonsense.
Still too much excessive nonsense though, Rumple.
Yeah.
I know, I did really like Neil, and I totally shipped Neil and Emma for a minute. Because, Emma's one of those people that you almost always ship with whoever's there at the time.
Yeah, I liked her and Graham when the show started.
Yeah, but,
I don't know if I was ever fully for Neil because she'd already met Captain Hook, but...
I was for Neil.
I like Captain Hook from the moment he showed up and they climbed up the beanstalk. That's one of my favorite moments. Was when they were climbing up and when they first had their first adventure, and he was being all flirty with her and stuff, and she was like,
yeah, well, I
mean, then he went on to do,
dastardly things.
In his defense, she did leave him up there.
Well,
she did chain him up and say sorry about it, so then he left her chained up later and was like, what has he said? The time for making deals is done. Just as I'm done with you.
Neil never would have done that. Just kidding. Neil totes would have done that.
He did.
Neil basically abandoned them off the jump.
He let her get arrested.
Yeah.
He didn't know she was pregnant, I guess, in his defense. And also it was August. August was like, you have to let her go on her path so she can save everyone.
Yeah.
So he did kind of do what he thought was the right thing. And he didn't know he had a kid.
Still.
I did like Neil. I did not like Neil.
I just really like Michael Raymond James, so...
Yeah.
Anyway, next.
Moving on.
You want to know what, though? Hold up, though. We're going to talk for a second about how hot Jamie Dornan was when he was Graham,
Mm-hmm.
and how less hot he was when he was Christian Grey.
With the facial hair?
Yeah. I mean, I know Christian was supposed to be all clean shaven and stuff,
Yeah.
but
You know, when they got a little bit of
I like beards, and
scruff, you know?
Jamie Dornan was way hotter when he was on Once Upon a Time than when he was in 50 Shades.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't have been that way.
Should
Okay.
have given him a beard. When the Mad Hatter reunites with his daughter, Sebastian Stan.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the Mad Hatter, bless his heart, he was crazy, but he was so sad because because he couldn't find his daughter or something.
I don't remember that.
I get confused because that was Hook's whole storyline in the final season, was looking for his daughter. Although he didn't know he was looking for his daughter until
The whole
he did know.
last season was kind of wonky.
It was so, I guess, I feel like it would have been, if Emma had still been there, if Jennifer Morrison hadn't left, even though the Charmings weren't there, I think it still would have felt more like Once Upon a Time to me.
Yeah.
But without her, it seemed, I mean, I still watched it, and they had some good episodes, but
Yeah.
overall it just wasn't the same, I guess.
I mean, the way they did it, it was good in theory. I mean, they shouldn't have tried to do it without them, which is basically they didn't try to do Once Upon a Time with, like, Once Upon a Time has always been anyway. They really shifted the whole thing, threw out the old, in with the new.
Yeah.
But it was still hard to kind of wrap your head around some of it. And then we were also back to square one, pretty much with Regina, Zelina, not Hook, and Rumple. So,
Because Bale wasn't there either, except
Yeah.
for in their one episode. Now, their episode was good that they had, where, you know, you got to see their life together. And
yeah.
how she had grown old and died, and
Right.
he, of course, hadn't.
Yeah.
Because he's the dark one.
Yeah, I mean, the final season was good. If it were its own show, it would have been better. But coming on the heels of such a great,
Yeah, it almost felt like a spinoff, kind of.
right, yeah, totally.
Since, I mean, even though.
Even though it was better than the actual spinoff, which was horrible. Bless its heart. It was
Yeah.
trash.
Yeah. The Queen of Hearts, or the Red Queen, she wasn't the Queen of Hearts. I guess Cora was supposed to be the Queen of Hearts, right?
Yeah.
The Red Queen from Once Upon a Time in Wonderland was the worst. I could not stand her. I was like, because Will was like in love with her, and I was like, why?
Yeah.
I don't understand. She is terrible.
Yeah, she was.
And he was all still hung up on her and stuff, which I guess she wasn't always terrible, but just in, I don't know. I just didn't care for that character at all.
No, and then
I couldn't root for them together.
Alice was just not great either, so that was
really, the
annoying.
knave was the best part.
Yeah,
Which he showed up on Once Upon a Time after that.
yeah, that was pretty cool.
He was in season 4. But yeah. I kind of sort of remember the Mad Hatter storyline, but like I said, that season 1, need to go back and watch that because that's been a long time.
Yeah. Oh, that's why in my notes, I used to take notes because we used to have a podcast and we did a segment called Once Upon a Walker. Because we would talk about Once Upon a Time and The Walking Dead, same episode.
They came on back to back on Sundays, like on different channels, obviously,
Yeah.
but we would watch them back to back and then.
So in my notes I put, Jafar shows up, that ain't Saeed. Because Saeed played Jafar on Once Upon a Time in Wonderland.
Okay, yeah.
That's why I had that in my notes.
She read that earlier and we were like, what do you mean it's not Saeed?
Did we think it was Saeed and then it wasn't? But that's why, because I'm looking up this girl that played the Red Queen. Because I feel like I've seen her in something recently and forgot about it.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to the moments that feel all the feels.
When Belle loses her memory and Rumple tells her who she is. So you remember when she became Lacey? Like, Hook was trying to push her over, or he did, I guess. Hook pushed her over the town line.
Yeah.
Since she forgot who she was and who Rumple was.
Yeah.
And then she was Lacey for a while, and I guess that was when he was trying to remind her of who she was.
Maybe so.
It says here, "You're a beautiful woman who loved an ugly man. You make me want to go back to the best version of me. That's never happened before. So if you look in the mirror and you don't know who you are, that's who you are."
Aww.
Aww.
Yeah, Bale was the sole reason why Rumple was ever good. But then also he kept betraying her too, which was very frustrating. Which was why it was good when she was finally like, "Forget you, bruh."
Yeah, I felt like he lied to her so many times that it's weird because you like still want it to work out, but at the same time you don't, because you're like, you've scummed her too many times.
Yeah, and then you kind of feel like a trash person because honestly, at the root of the thing, at best he's gaslighting her, at worst he's like mentally abusing her.
Yeah.
But then for some reason it kind of seemed like not really.
Yeah, it was a weird relationship on there. Theirs was like the weirdest ship on
For
the
sure.
whole show.
Yeah.
When Regina kills Graham,
That was sad.
that was really sad. I wasn't happy about that.
Well, feeling feels, I guess sadness
I
is
was
a
feeling a sad feel.
Yep.
When Rumple loses Balefire, every time. It happened a bunch of times.
Yeah, I was like, didn't we already cover this? Basically.
Yeah, I guess this is when young Balefire falls through the thing.
Into Neverland.
Yeah. He meets the darlings. And when resurrected Daniel begs Regina to kill him. Oh yeah. That was I can't remember how he got, she was keeping him in like preserving his body in this thing in her vault or whatever.
What?
And they let him out, and he was like wandering around like a zombie, and then he was like, "Kill me."
Seems legit. That makes me think about like Hocus Pocus.
Yeah.
With that one dude they dug up that was wandering around the whole time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. He was like Edward Scissorhands kind of.
Oh yeah, Billy.
Yeah, Billy Binks. Billy Binks?
No, Binks was the cat.
They were related. What was his last name? We don't know.
It was on his tombstone, I think.
Thackeray Binks. That was the cat.
When Snow and Charming have to give up Emma, they put her in the wardrobe
With the Lion and the Witch.
in August,
Just kidding.
aka Pinocchio.
There was no Lion or Witch. Different story.
Yeah.
That was very sad, but they knew they had to do it.
It was always sad hearing about Emma's backstory, how she always felt like abandoned and stuff.
Well, she kind of was.
Mm-hmm.
Even though she didn't know it was probably for her best, but it was.
Yeah.
But it's not easy to be abandoned, probably.
Mm-mm. When Snow gives Charming half her heart, literally.
Yeah, that was crazy. But then that didn't work later.
When Emma tried to do it?
Yeah. Well, it feels like sometimes things work and sometimes they don't.
Yeah. Of
But
course, I think they said was what Hades, of course, who knows, was like, how long you been dead? And he was like, a couple weeks, and they were like, you've been dead too long. Charming only been dead for like a minute.
they make the rules. They can do them how they want, but they didn't want to do that.
No, they did not. They wanted it to be harder on them. But it was okay. Turned out okay. The death of Charming's mom.
Charming's dad was a jerk, right?
He left them, but he was like a drunk or something. But then he actually killed him.
No, but what about the dude from the OC? You didn't watch the OC. What? That was Charming's fake dad, or what happened?
That was his dad that raised him, like the shepherd guy. But his brother went off.
The brother's dad.
The king.
He was a jerk, right?
I think.
All right. Anyway, back to the list.
I don't remember Charming's mom. I'm gonna be real.
Okay.
It says the antidote that would have saved her was also the only chance Snow had of having a baby, so she sacrificed herself for her future granddaughter. Her only wish was to see her son married, so they had an impromptu wedding as she took her last breath.
Wow.
I don't remember that at all. It must have been in season 1. Anyway. When Regina and Robin break it off to save Marion's life.
Don't get me started on Regina and Robin, okay? First of all, if you've watched our show before, you know that we think being in love is not weakness.
Yeah.
And it's infuriating when they try to act like it's fine for strong women to end up alone because they're happy with who they are and happy with their life. And that's fine if they are, but that doesn't mean they don't deserve love too.
Yeah, like you can have love and still be strong.
Yeah, and still be your own person.
I was so mad when they killed Robin.
Yes. The whole Robin and Regina thing really just got under my skin because Regina deserved a happy ending, and I know they try to make out like, well, her family was her happy ending and whatever, and I'm like, well, she could have been married to Robin too.
Right? Why did they have to do that? That was one of the worst moments of Once Upon a Time.
Yeah.
When they just straight up came in and just killed him, and that was it.
Yeah.
And then, like, Wish Robin came up and ended it with the evil queen. I'm like, the evil queen deserves a happy ending, but Regina don't?
Right.
No.
Not
I don't
cool.
accept that.
No.
And the whole Marion thing, I mean, I like that storyline in a way because it was one of those shocking things where you're like, oh my God, they accidentally brought back Marion from the past.
Yeah.
And this is going to throw in a monkey wrench. But the fact that then he, like, had all this honor and duty, like he had to stay with his wife, I'm like, why do you have to stay with her if you don't love her anymore?
Yeah, that ain't fair to nobody.
I'm like, if you're in love with Regina, because, you know, she got hit by the ice, whatever, her frozen heart,
Yeah.
whatever, and he was going to save her, but he was like, True Love's kiss didn't work because I'm in love with somebody else. And I'm like, then what are you doing?
Yeah.
And of course, she had to leave town to save her life or something. You know, that was this. So he went with her, and then turns out it wasn't even her the whole time. It was freaking Zelina.
Yeah.
Who then manipulated Robin and got pregnant, which right there is kind of a...
Problematic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like Zelina, and I like her redemption, you know, having a baby storyline, but the way it came about was just not cool.
That was scummy.
I didn't like that either.
Yeah, every time that they really messed with Robin and Regina and tore them apart was just not cool. And then ultimately, I mean, you know, like I said, it's also counterpoint. It's not that we think you have to end up with somebody to get your happy ending either. That doesn't have to happen. You can be completely fine on your own.
Yeah.
That's totally cool. But at the same time, if there's somebody in the picture,
But
don't do that to us.
If you have somebody, yeah, then what the heck?
Why do you kill them?
It's like I think Emma said that to Regina in that episode, you know, it was the season 4 finale, I think, where the author had created the world where the villains were won or whatever. And she said when the Charming killed Hook, and she said, love is something about how Regina was like, a man isn't my happy ending or something. And Emma's like, no, but love's a part of all happiness.
Yeah.
And you have to be willing to at least try.
Yeah.
And I was like, thank you.
Yeah.
But anyway. Rumple and Bale's wedding. Now that was sweet, despite the fact that we all knew he was a scumbag liar because he told her she had the dagger and she didn't.
Yeah.
But their wedding was nice. I like that part where I just saw that recently where she, and she said, I haven't spent my life losing you. I spent my life finding you.
Aww.
Something about how the best teacups have a chip or something. It was sweet. That's what this actually says.
Beauty and the Beast.
Sometimes the best book has the dustiest jacket, and sometimes the best teacup is chipped.
Aw, that is sweet. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. That was the whole problem, which may be credit to the writers on really all of this stuff and the creators of the show in that you still root for these people, even though, I mean, I guess the characters
Even though
were
you're
very
like-
dynamic. But yeah.
When Hook trades the Jolly Roger to help Emma.
Sacrifice.
Aw.
Big time.
You traded your ship for me?
Yeah.
Because you know, once he said that the captain's ship is his something.
Yep.
True love. I don't know. He said something like that. Aww.
That was nice.
Also, while we're at this, because this was at the end of the season 3 finale, my favorite 2 episodes of the show ever were the 2-part season 3 finale where Emma and Hook went back in time.
And they got stuck there for a minute. Yeah.
And they accidentally interrupted Snow and Charming from meeting and then had to go around and try to fix it.
Oh, yeah.
Those are my 2 favorite episodes of the show ever. I've seen that episode more than any other because I like it so much. I watch it more often than the rest.
Yeah.
But I just love their hijinks in the past. And of course, you know, I love Captain Swan, so, you know.
Yeah. They were the bomb. Mostly because I feel like I always like relationships where they can be in love, but they don't have to throw it in your face at the same time. Like, it's not just... Because the Charmings, let's be real, they are like tragically in love with each other. Like, I will always find you. And then Hook and Emma are basically like, yeah, I mean, we're in love, but like, whatever. I mean,
Yeah, well, I think that's what Hook told David that one time where he's like, Emma and I weren't like destined to be together. Like, we fought for our relationship, you know? Like, we had to try. Like, it wasn't some kind of...
Yeah.
Like, you guys seem like this fairy, like you were always meant to be.
Yeah.
And we weren't, kind of thing.
But they also always were like taking shots at each other and stuff like that, I feel like. And
I always like that when people kind of start off, of course, arguing or, you know, they don't like each other a whole lot. And then they kind of do, but they're still kind of snarky at each other and stuff.
I mean, the enemies to lovers trope is one of our favorites. But it's also good just because they're not so desperate. I mean, they are, but they're not. It's not all the time like they're just so desperately in love with each other. I mean, they do make some crazy decisions.
Yeah.
A few times, but...
Now, I will say a lot of people it seemed like at the time, didn't like the season 5. I think it was season 5 where Emma was the dark one.
Yeah.
But see, I liked
I saw
it.
That.
Like, I liked because, you know, the whole thing was she did it. She became that way to save Hook.
Yeah.
And I was like, I like that because, which of course, you know me, I'm like, there's nothing wrong with like being in love and being like, I'd rather become the dark one than let the person I love die.
Yeah.
I mean, and I know some people didn't like Hook because they were, you know, for one reason or another. Probably all the Swan Queen shippers.
Probably. Yeah.
But I know a lot of people didn't like that storyline as much, but I really liked that part, and I thought it was cool finding out that Hook was the dark one. I remember at that same time, around about that same time as when Glenn fell off the dumpster.
Yeah.
And it was like that episode happened, and the episode where we found out Hook was the dark one happened, and then like the next episodes of both shows were about something totally different, and I was like, what are you doing to me?
Yeah.
What happened to these 2 characters?
Right. We need information.
But I love that, and I love Dark Hook. I love when he was imitating Rumple.
Yeah.
You remember that? Where he was like, get your affairs in order, dearie.
Oh.
To Rumple.
Well, see, I think, too, that a lot of people get really irritated when strong female characters make sacrifices for the people that they love.
Yeah, that's not like family, you know.
Yeah, they act like they just should never give up anything for love when, you know, admittedly, I'm not a pro at love, but I'm pretty sure you kind of have to make sacrifices to be with each other to a certain extent.
That's like any relationship ever is if you really care about somebody, you'll be willing to make those kind of sacrifices for them, regardless of, you know, something.
And I mean, it's not like Emma did it. I mean, admittedly, it probably took a little longer than she would have expected. But Emma had like one of the purest hearts, so that was why she did it in the first place, because she thought that she would be able to overcome it and just be back to normal. And that didn't super pan out, but eventually it did. So
and she was still always kind of trying to do the right thing.
Yeah.
She was just going about it in a dark one way.
Yeah.
Like willing to sacrifice Zelina, which
Yeah.
she did kill Neil.
Right.
And manipulate Robin that hadn't happened yet.
Yeah.
Robin hadn't died at that point, but she hadn't manipulated Robin.
Yeah.
And her whole one thing I'll tell you, one other thing I did not like, or I thought was was Zelina and Hades.
Yeah, it was just weird.
I always thought they always make it. It's like going back to I know we talked about on Vampire Diaries before. Maybe we can talk about that show one day. But the whole how rare it is for you to sire somebody. And then it seems like it happens a lot.
Yeah.
It's like that on this show. It's like true love is the rarest magic or whatever. And then it's like everyone has a true love though.
Yeah. So which is it?
Is it?
Yeah.
But when they were like Zelina and Hades are true love, and I was like,
Not
really?
so much.
I
No.
just don't care about them.
Yeah.
But whatever. Rumple, Bale, and the Chipped Cup. Well, that was like a whole thing about,
Like their whole backstory thing. Yeah. Of Beauty and the Beast, as it turns out.
Yeah. When Neil falls through the portal, he got shot by Tamara, Sasha.
Yeah. Sasha, yeah.
And he fell through the portal and they were like, Neil's dead. But turns out he wasn't. But Regina and Robin Hood's first kiss.
Aww. How many
sweet.
things are on this list?
I don't remember. Emma and Hook's first kiss. We like to see a gif.
Aww.
There's also a gif of the other one.
Here's what I'm wanting to know. I guess GIF makes sense because it's short. What does it stand for? Graphic interface?
I don't know. Some people say gif.
Some people say GIF.
Yeah.
GIF makes more sense, but GIF because it's short.
I always say gif.
We say
know
very
if that's
short
correct.
films,
Yeah, sometimes we say very short films.
which is the truest
Because
thing.
we were like,
of all.
how do you pronounce it? Don't know.
Yeah, I say GIF too.
Yeah, I will
like
say-
peanut butter, which
Yeah.
is JIF.
All of those first kisses were great.
Mm-hmm.
I was really excited about the Emma and Hook one because you really didn't think it. I really didn't expect it because he was all like, you couldn't handle it, and I was like, nah. And then I was like, is it? What? I didn't think she was really gonna do it. When Emma tells Hook she loves him before turning into the Dark One. Yeah, after that, they came back or whatever, and she was like, I was afraid I was never going to get to tell you something, and then she didn't say it. And then when she was about to become the Dark One, she did.
A real Dr. Rose moment.
When Hook confesses his love for Emma, that was back in season 3 in the Neverland.
Mm-hmm.
When they had to, they went into the Echo Cave, I noticed.
Yeah, you
Just watched it. And you had to tell a dark secret,
Yeah.
and that was that he didn't think he'd be able to get over his first love until now.
Aww.
When Robin chooses Regina over Marion, finally.
Yeah. Took too long.
When Mulan's feelings for Aurora slip. I remember that because I remember you were kind of led to believe that Mulan was in love with Philip.
Yeah.
Because her and Aurora were trying to figure out, or she was going to protect Aurora because Philip had
After.
too, I think.
Yeah, the only issue I had with that storyline was Aurora was very annoying. And so it was crazy to me that one person could be madly in love with her, much less two.
Yeah.
And I just thought, what do y'all see in her that I'm missing here? Because she was kind of almost Red Queen 2.0.
Yeah.
And then she did get better, and I think she had that one episode where she was really redeemed herself. But before that, Aurora was super annoying.
Yeah. She always seemed, I know they tried you know, in some parts to make her seem more powerful or more.
Right.
She just always kind of seemed like the weak link in the group.
Yeah, like a major damsel in distress.
Yes. But also, Mulan in general, I feel like she kind of got the shaft just in general. Like, she never really got her ending because, I mean, that was kind of that because Aurora and Philip, when they saved Philip, you know,
Yeah.
they got back together. And then when she went off with Ruby that time and Ruby and Dorothy fell in love.
Yeah.
But Mulan kind of still got no one. Where was Shang, okay?
No shame.
Shang keeps getting left out of everything.
Yeah. The struggle, man. But really, too, them, once Ruby and Dorothy rode off into the sunset, you never heard from them again either.
No, they had like, I feel like that was once upon a times kind of saying, oh, look, we have some representation on our show for one episode.
And now it's gone.
It was really, it felt weird because we didn't know Dorothy.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, we knew Red, but she hadn't been on the show in a while.
Right.
And then suddenly in one episode, like, they met, and then, like, they were only...
That was the episode after the Hook thing, right? That
Yeah.
didn't make any sense out
Yeah.
of nowhere. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. The one...
It was that.
I
it
think
was
that
Merida.
was Merida's. That
Yeah,
was
it
when they were in
Merida's episode.
the underworld. They threw in that random episode.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was a pretty good episode for what it was, but
Yeah.
it just all seemed very rushed because it only happened that one time, and then, you, like you said, you never saw him again. So
Yeah.
I was like, I mean, it was I guess
I mean, it was good,
Fine,
but at the
but-
same time, like,
it was weird.
let's check back in with some folks from time to time, you know?
Yeah, they're gone. See ya. Whatever.
Yeah. I agree.
Ingrid's death.
Who?
The Snow Queen. You know what's funny? I started watching this new reaction channel, and the guy, it's J-Per-View for anybody interested in what the channel's called.
J-Per-View, like pay-per-view?
Yeah. But he
Good
cracks
on
me
you,
up,
dude.
but he's watching Once Upon a Time, and he was in season 4 talking about the Snow Queen.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, why does she talk like that? Because you know that actress talks like that. Like, she's got that, like, she talks really low. It's like she talks really soft all the time.
Obviously, I don't remember this woman at all.
It's the lady that was on Lost, Elizabeth.
Oh, the one that dated Sawyer?
Yeah.
Dated. I feel like it's weird to say people date on shows like Lost.
Yeah.
When you're like in an apocalypse. It's like, really, you're just hooking up, right?
Yeah. But Juliet, that was her name on Lost.
Yes.
But the way, anyway, so he was like, hold on a second, I gotta turn my volume up because I can't hear what she's saying.
Yeah.
But I was like, you are so right, because I can't, I know a lot of people love like that soft, like ASMR type of, I cannot stand soft-spoken things or whispering. It drives me nuts. So every time I hear her
ASMR
talk,
thing is
I don't like it.
creepy and brainwashing. And you will not convince me otherwise, and it needs to stop.
I don't
Tangent.
mind some of it, but I don't like the whispering and the low talking. I
No.
don't like that.
All of it's
Drives
terrible.
me nuts. My dad was watching a hunting show one day, and they were whispering, of course, because they were
Well, yeah.
whatever.
That's fine.
I hated it. I had to leave the room. I was like, I cannot stand this whispering any longer.
If you talk loud, the deer will hear you and run away.
Yeah.
But while we're on hunting
can't-
shows
I
for
can't
no
handle
reason, let me tell you a thing I thought of about hunting shows the other day. If you're really the best hunter, you would do it with the equipment like people used to have back in the day. All these people nowadays got all these compound bows.
all this fancy stuff.
Yeah, basically it kills the deer for you. That don't mean you the best hunter. That means you got the most money.
Yeah.
Look at Snow White. Tie it back in. Snow White's just out here with like homemade bows and arrows, taking down whatever she wants to. Bam, she's the best hunter.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, anyway.
Got totally distracted. But anyway, yeah, so that lady.
Okay, yeah.
You know, turns out she was like Elsa's aunt.
Yeah.
Elsa Anna's aunt or whatever.
Some people hated the Frozen storyline. I
Yeah.
thought it was fine.
I liked it.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty
Of
good.
course, we like Frozen.
I love Frozen.
Yeah.
And this was right after Frozen came out. I
Yeah.
feel like the first one, like not long after the first one came
We
out.
really love Frozen. We've seen it a bunch of times. And we ain't even mad about it. And guess what? Nobody even forces us to watch it. We watch it because we want to.
Can you want to build a snowman?
Yes. Do you want to come and play?
Yeah.
Bam! Freedom.
When Snow and Charming kidnap Maleficent's baby. You know, they did that too, because Rumple told them that their daughter had a chance of being evil, but that they could prevent it somehow by... Anyway, they kidnapped her baby, which turned out to be Lily, which turned out to be Emma's friend that she made. That one.
Oh, yeah. That was a complex storyline.
That was it.
Well,
What are other... I'm trying to think. I feel like I've talked about most of my favorite moments as we've gone on.
yeah.
I did really like the musical episode. I hadn't seen it since it first aired until I was rewatching it recently, and I watched it again.
I do like how they... Sorry, did you want to sing a song?
Love is the most powerful magic of all. Okay.
No, I liked how they did focus a lot on different happy endings, because like we've said, not everybody's happy ending is going to be love. But that being said, if there's love to be had, here's our point. Our point is, you should be secure enough in yourself and create a life you love that is not dependent on other people.
Yeah.
Now, if you have that and there's a love interest, bonus points. It's like leveling up. But you can be good on your own, and you should be good on your own.
Yeah.
So I do like how, all that being said, I do like how they very much fostered the Regina and Zelena sisterhood storyline.
Yeah.
That was really cool, and I mean, I'm an only child, so, seeing sisterly bonds and those sorts of things, and family has always been very important to me, of course, too, even though I don't have siblings. I think that's important to, show that and to make sure that, people have those good family relationships, because your family's going to be there. That's the cooler wine, but you better take a sip now because it's going to be getting warm. But family's the most important thing. I mean, also if your family betrays you, then meh. But I do like how they gave different kinds of happy endings, and they emphasized the importance of family. They did give them those, and they always did pretty much good with redemption arcs, I felt like, too.
I did like in the final season, the other Hook.
Yeah.
Like his whole thing was finding his daughter and being
Right.
reunited with his daughter, and like that was sort of
His happy ending.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did like the way they ended the whole show where everybody is back together, and they brought everybody to Storybrooke, and they made Regina like the good queen, and
Yeah.
everybody was there. That was really cool. I kind of had hoped that Emma would be in more of the episode than just the very end, but I get it. I'm sure she was probably busy doing stuff and things.
But on the whole, of course, Hook was probably my favorite character of all, because he was the funniest.
Yeah, I loved Hook. He had his moments. I mean, of course he was very, towards the beginning, he would like flip-flop based on what was in his best interest.
Right.
He was always, you never really knew, you felt like he was genuine no matter what, but he was always looking out for himself. But then he kind of grew, and then he was all about helping out Emma and Henry and all. I did love too the relationships with like Emma and Regina and Henry.
Yeah.
Like I liked their whole thing with them. First of course they fought and they were like, we can't both be his mom, but then they were like, we can both be his mom. And I liked how they both really loved Henry like more than anything, and like they were willing to do anything for him.
Yeah.
I like that. And
even though we have also talked about how some of that, sometimes that endless love and all that's annoying. I do like the Charmings. I'm a romantic, so I always thought it was neat when they found each other again and that they were hopelessly in love.
I find them, they were very easy to, I feel like since there were so many different kinds of relationships on that show, that it was easy to love them for even me.
The cynic.
Even me over here who doesn't believe in love at first sight and true love sometimes makes me like but I did like the Charmings. I felt like they were a pretty good constant on the show.
Yeah.
Where everybody else was kind of whatever.
Yeah.
And you know, you had characters like Hook and Robin Hood and people who were a little bit different. So it made it, and then Rumble, of course, like, so you had, I don't know, so many different kinds of ships that it was.
So it was just a good show, and I liked that they had all different kinds of characters. And of course, you know, we're from the Disney generation, so like the pinnacle of Disney, we feel like, you know, there's been different terms for millennials thrown around, and one of them is Disney generation, and we prefer that. Actually, we took quizzes on BuzzFeed, and it was like, what type of millennial are you? Because there's 6 kinds, and I think you were Disney millennial, weren't you?
Yeah, I think so.
I was Harry Potter millennial, but all the same.
Yeah.
So I just really liked how they did the whole show, and then how they took some villains and made them good, like Hook, and then they redeemed people. I mean, the whole show was
a
good.
bunch of times.
Yeah.
I think it's sort of very weirdly ironic, or I don't know, whatever, that Rumple inevitably sacrificed himself to save Captain Hook.
Yep. When the whole time Hook was out to kill him for taking his wife or whatever.
They were like enemies the whole time, and then at the end, they
Yeah.
were working together, and he ended up dying for Hook.
That's how it goes.
I like, of course, like usual, I prefer the chilled wine. I just like chilled wine, even if it's red.
Yeah. We're not wine snobs, but it is good, and it doesn't taste that much different chilled. But I
Just
agree.
the chill. I mean, I don't know what it is. I just like it to be a little bit cold.
Yeah, me too.
But it does taste relatively the same.
Yeah. So
The wine is good. Once Upon a Time, of course, it's one of my favorite shows. It's one of my top 10 favorite shows. Yeah.
So make sure you check it out. Don't watch Once Upon a Time in Wonderland. It is garbage. Bless its heart. Sorry, but it's terrible. Except for the parts with the knave, but everybody else was largely annoying. That's why they flipped the script, honestly, I think, when they brought Aladdin and Jafar and everybody on to once.
Yeah.
Regular once. It was a different Jafar.
Yeah, they brought in a whole new Aladdin
There was
storyline,
Aladdin
kind
and
of.
Jasmine. No Alice to be in love with the genie.
Yeah.
What's that?
That was weird.
That was so weird.
I wasn't invested in their relationship either.
No, because Alice was annoying.
Yeah.
But, and then like Nave being in love with the Red Queen, that was crazy. But
Yeah.
anyway, they did bring Nave on our show for a while, but check out Once Upon a Time. Get you some
You
good...
can't watch it on Netflix for much longer. Probably when this video comes out, it'll be gone from Netflix.
But maybe it'll be on Disney Plus or something. We're thinking because, you know, Disney Plus owns ABC and whatnot, or Disney owns ABC. Disney owns everything.
They do. Disney is slowly taking over the world.
It's a people trap set by a mouse. It's working.
It is definitely
They've trapped so many people.
working.
Yeah, so maybe it'll be on there, and you can watch it and tell us what you think.
Yep. Tell us if you have any favorite moments we didn't talk about, or
Yeah.
we talked about a lot of sad moments and then threw in a few favorites.
Yeah, tell us if you like any of the random smaller time characters. Like Grumpy was always great, and of course Granny was cool.
Yeah.
But are
They had
there
a
any
lot
others
more-
we missed?
I feel like in season 1 we met,
So many.
throughout we met, you know, Ariel and Aladdin and
Yeah.
some of the other characters, but
I know what was a funny moment, sorry to like throw this in at the last minute, but what was really a funny moment was when David Andres came back to the show and he had been shooting iZombie.
Yeah.
So he had bleach blonde hair because, of course, on iZombie, when you're a zombie, you have blonde hair. And so he came back and, because he was Dr. Frankenstein, and everybody was like, "What's up with your hair, dude?" And he said, "Emma's hair has been white and nobody said anything to her." You know, that was a funny moment and a throw to iZombie. So that was kind of a cool thing too.
Yeah, that was funny.
But anyway, so tell us what you like and appreciate about Once Upon a Time in the comments. Like and subscribe.
Yeah. Come back for more. We'll be talking about more TV shows like this.
Yeah.
We'll be talking about all kinds of things.
Yeah. And we'll come up with a name for this segment, maybe. Who knows?
Yeah. We'll think of something clever.
Maybe. Uncorking and No, that doesn't work. I don't like tannins in TV because I don't know that white wines have tannins.
Yeah.
So what if we had a white wine? Then it wouldn't work.
Mm-mm.
Fermenting and fermenting and commenting. Yes. We're going to go with it for now. Okay, so you've been watching Fermenting and Commenting on Our McWorld. And we were talking about Once Upon a Time and drinking Jennifer Good wine from Knocking Point.
Check out them too.
Yeah, they have all kinds of different they partner with all these different people from fandoms.
Yeah.
And other things, I guess. We're just fandom minded.
You can see more if you watch some of our other videos.
Yes, you will if you watch our one where we're drinking wine and solving crime, or if you watch the very first one we did. we drink a lot of Knocking Point wines.
Yeah.
Although, honestly, I don't know how much more we'll be drinking unless Knocking Point wants to sponsor us, because they haven't so far. I bought all of this myself. Just saying. Just saying. Hey, saving a mail.
We're promoting you.
Okay. We're signing off. This has been Fermenting and Commenting.
Okay.
Bye. We still don't have us a good stick.
No, we never have a stick.